everyone, and let me show you something else that I had to do today. This is not going to be a standalone video. Well, yeah, you'll find that out. Anyway, never mind, sorry. I love these traditional medicinal teas. They come in a lot of different mixtures. You can get a seasonal sampler, which is my favorite, but I also get them singly, like with these Breathe Easy ones and the throat coat ones. At Walmart, these are usually $5 a box for the tea, and I used to get them a lot on my Amazon Subscribe and Save. They would be $18 if you bought 6, which would make them $3 a box. And then I'd add them to my Subscribe and Save, and they would be sometimes right under $3 a box, or they'd drop from what, like $3.50 to $3.18 or something like that. I'm not real sure. So these right here, I'm taking out for a family member who is pretty sick right now, and hasn't gone to get tested, but thinks that they may have the current virus that's going around. And they also have no insurance, so we're not sure how that's going to pan out. But this I'm going to take to them so they can have that. And my daughter, we had a little concern. I'm not going to say a scare, but she had a sore throat, lost her voice, and that's pretty much all that was wrong. So she actually likes this throat coat tea. She used the last bit of it that I took to her, so I'm going to take her 2 of these. So what I do on my bucket, if I have to dip into my preps, and honestly, this is like the first time I've had to. So this means it has a desiccant in it. This means it was packed in 2018, and these are the types of tea that are in there. So I took out 2 packs of the throat coat, so that's all that was in there. I just crossed it out, and then I took out 2 packs of the Breathe Easy, and so I just crossed that out from 6 to 4 and dropped the 30 to 26. So that's how I'm doing that, and I haven't really had to delve into my preps much at all, but now I do. And it seems that generally so far, digging into my preps, which is what they're there for, don't get me wrong, that is why they're here, I'm going to get to see what I'm using first and what I need first. But honestly, the only things we've needed for ourselves out of our preps so far has been mayonnaise. We ran out of mayonnaise, and actually it wasn't in our preps, it was in our regular rotation pantry. So that's it. See you in a little bit. So here's one of the buckets I did today and how I labeled it. If you notice on the upper left, the S means that there's a silica gel desiccant in there. I just put a D or a DT when it's just another desiccant. On the upper right, 0149, 0350. I usually try to have everything in one bucket, you know, packaged on the same date. Unfortunately, sometimes I can't. That's for accuracy in kind of knowing which bucket I want to use first. And when you would open the bucket, you would see the individual expiration dates. So on here, obviously, there's Himalayan pink salt, Spanish sea salt, Mediterranean sea salt, kosher salt. What I feel like I should have done was left salt off of there and just wrote it once at the top of the bucket, you know, Himalayan pink, Spanish sea, Mediterranean sea, kosher. And then, anyway, that's how many of each there are. Normally, I don't put that much salt in one bucket. This is too heavy for me to lift now. And I found 5-gallon buckets. You know, I used to get my buckets free. They're 3-gallon buckets from the restaurant, and my family doesn't work there anymore. So we're going to go back to the restaurant just to see if we can still get the buckets. I don't mind paying for them at all either. But I found these buckets, these 5-gallon buckets, for $2. They were already cleaned, except they have a label on the outside, which really isn't bothersome to me. And they had the matching lids all intact. Although now I found 4-gallon buckets for $1 a piece with the lids, but they need cleaned. They're definitely worth $1 a piece to me to come already cleaned. But I do like the smaller size, so I may go ahead and get one of those, you know, a delivery, not a delivery, a pickup of those, and have to clean them just so they're a more manageable size for me. But here's what I do when I don't just start writing on the bucket. I keep a tally mark. I was going through and pulling out the salt that still needed packed because I'm over here doing my storage, and I pack things up in Mylar. I put them in a bag or a box and bring them over, or my husband will bring them over, and it just, you know, gets to be a little much here. So then one day I come and I just start pre-sorting, and then I sort, and then this is what I do. I just, okay, these ones were packed on different dates. There were 8 that expire January of 50 and 4 that expire March of 50. And that's just how I do it. I just do the tallies, and then of course once it's all in the bucket, I will pull some things out or put some things in. I try to keep them even. I don't know why, like 10 or 15 or a 20-pound or a 25-pound bucket. I don't know, it just bugged me to have a 22-pound bucket. I know that's weird. A 12-pound bucket would be fine because, you know, that's a dozen. But with pasta, the buckets are usually 10 pounds because pasta takes a lot of space with a lot of air in them. But anyway, that's it. And let me give you a little look around here. So this is a little bit of what I managed to do. These here totes get my freeze-dried foods, and I'm not real pleased with the storage of this because in this tote here, there's a lot of unused space. See that? There's a lot of space in there. There's only 10 cans in there, and I could probably put some Mylar items in there. But again, for me, they would be too heavy because they're so large. So I may end up just putting some other freeze-dried foods in there and add to that label. I do that because the number 10 cans come in cardboard, and my goal is to have absolutely no cardboard in my storage. So, yeah, that's that. Let me spin around here. And this is some of the other things that Fred has contributed over the years. And then these are the labels. As I add things there, this is all full of pie, but as I add things to this tote, I'll write on it what's in there. And in the end, I will go ahead and just make one complete label. And this is what is on my spreadsheet. That's what's on my spreadsheet. And the description of this one tote takes up a full page. So I may end up printing it out once, sliding that inventory inside here, or making the label on the front, and on my spreadsheet just say miscellaneous desserts, pies, and cheesecakes. But then I have an S here because I know there's a desiccant, a silica gel desiccant in this one. It's done. I know I'm not going to put anything in there because it's full, so I'll either write done. Oh no, that's desiccant. I'll either write done or full on it, and then this just shows you what's in there. But these are all done. And then this is when I get energetic or I don't want to do other things, I write. But then again, when I write too long, my shoulder hurts. And then, so that's just that, what's in that one. And so these are what I'm doing here. This is all the freeze-dried dog food. And then, so that's it. These ones are all done. And then when I'm done with those totes, I'll tape the sides. This, oh, here. That one's not taped yet either. It should be. Oh my. Here, let me pull this out and show you. I taped the side because these don't have, they're not airtight like the buckets are. However, these are nice and light because they're freeze-dried foods, and the Mylar is sealed inside there. In an ideal world, I would have some sort of gasket underneath this lid. I know Sunny Preps, if you don't know where her channel is, I can link it here. But she actually, I think they were Ziploc brand, not sure, but the totes that she got actually had a gasket here. So when she closed them, they sealed. I am not going to replace. I have so many of these totes for our regular storage, for camping gear. I'm just not replacing those. I might try to find a way to rig up a gasket for inside of there, and if anybody has any ideas on how to do that, that'd be amazing. Now let me totally spin around. So I've already showed you this before, and it's still a work in progress. Oh, speaking of work in progress, that's what that means. WIP, work in progress. So I know that this is what's in there and it's not done, although it doesn't have to necessarily say work in progress because it doesn't say done or full, so just by default it's a work in progress. But as you can see here on this side of the room, the buckets are 3 deep, and in these buckets are the raw things that need cooked or the raw things that are ready to eat. In other words, just whatever's not freeze-dried. So there's the Ritz crackers, that sort of thing, and, you know, ramen noodles, oatmeal packets, things like that, sugar. I did learn one thing, though, in redoing and organizing all my preps a lot better, is that I don't need any more sugar. You know what, I need no more sugar. And I only have, where did it go? Right there. I think I only have 1 or 2 buckets of erythritol, which is a sugar that is, if you're keto or if you are diabetic, that's a good a sugar for you. So then also today I had started this the other day, but I finally finished in this other small room that we have connected to that one. All of these buckets are labeled with what's in them, and on most of them I did a count. No, not on most of them. On some of them I did a count, you know. So what do we have here? That's the date, the size, and the quantity of the rosemary, oregano, and basil, which is what's in that bucket, which wasn't my goal. My goal was actually to have all these in alphabetical order, you know, but then to me, ginger and turmeric go hand in hand, so they're in the same bucket. And then over here, this is pepper, which is cayenne, red flakes, and white pepper. And down here is black pepper, granulated garlic, garlic powder, and minced. And I think I just watched a video today, Manifestation of Imagination doesn't like garlic, or he doesn't like garlic pickles. I couldn't remember which it was. But that's another amazing channel, one of my favorites, and check him out, and I'll link him here. And I love his channel. So we got right here minced onion and onion powder. And over here on this entire rack are all these totes that have my beans in them. See, this is how these are done, black beans. But I would love to be able to take these out of totes because they're pretty heavy and put them in buckets. But I just don't have enough buckets for that. So they just may have to stay like they are. And I got all those black beans when they were on clearance, $3 for 12 pounds, so they were very inexpensive. So I did the store a favor and bought 10 bags, and then went back and they were still on clearance, bought 10 more bags, packed those up, bought 10 more. I definitely did not just leave with a truckload of beans. I left enough for other people to share in the clearance price. And then right here, like in this tote, it says freeze-dried with a desiccant pack. So that one just needs tallied up and put on the spreadsheet. Yeah. So that's it. That's pretty much what I'm doing today. That's what I did. And right here is a box of, I thought I was done with my ramen. This is what I get. But I see, this is the cardboard box. I did the ramen, put it in the Mylar, put it in a cardboard box, and said, here, honey, take this over to the cave, and then I'll take care of it when I get over there. And then I don't. Well, I do, but not in a timely manner. So that's it. I feel like I did accomplish a lot today, even though this is such a slow going. I did do one thing is when I tally up or write down, I was writing down and taking home what I needed to add to the spreadsheet, and I decided I didn't want to take all that paperwork and things. So like even this, back to this one, I normally would just take that home and then put it on the spreadsheet and then throw it away because I know it was in a bucket. But I'm not even doing that now. I can just throw this away because what I do now, I just take a picture of the bucket, which is probably going to get me in trouble because my phone has been dying, and today it died when it was at 39% battery capacity. So I did see yesterday that I have a removable battery on this phone. So instead of buying a new phone, I think I'm just going to see if I can get a new battery. I figure that should be a lot less expensive. All right, guys, that's it for today. Let me know in the comments what did you prep today, and be blessed, everyone.